Place number 3, Beastly Lady of Port Hemlock, Part A. Copyright October the 22nd, 2008. Back in 1837, a woman's lot was a hard one if she were not married and possessed wealth. Since there was no such thing as voting rights, property rights, or even person rights, you didn't want to be a woman unless you were born one. Back in the early spring of that year, I'd made the mistake of opposing the other guys at Upper Canada Agricultural College when they decided to oppose the accreditation of the Girls' College of Homemaking, which was sited on the other side of the Speed River. I was foolish enough to defend the opposing school's female students' population's right to receive official recognition of their academic studies. That one thing led me in a heated dispute with a couple of boys in Mr. Slater's electrostatic turntable mechanics class, and once they discovered I'd sooner back off than fight and threw fits when I was bullied, I was doomed at Upper Canada Agricultural College. The two monsters started making my life miserable by calling me a girl in breeches and told me to go back to the other girls across the river. They'd made my life miserable for half a year, then finally unleashed their ultimate torture on me. To work on the electrostatic turntables, you need to take off your regular street clothes and get into an insulated rubber coverall in order to work near the high electrostatic potentials of the turntable engine. This means we have our regular clothes in a change room adjacent to the workshop. So on that final day in Mr. Slater's class, I came back to the change room and discovered my pants, shirt, and jacket had been replaced with a girl's dress, a corset, a bodice, and a lady's traveling jacket. Things went into a fogged blur as I finally lost it. I don't remember dressing up in the switched girls' clothing, nor do I remember screaming, stomping back into the turntable workshop and merrily cursing the two bullies. I knew I'd stolen my clothes and replaced them with the girls' clothes I now wore. By the time I calmed down, I'd already fled the college grounds. Some sympathetic female students from the other college had caught up to me before I could do serious violence and had led me to their ice queen, who they said could help me get revenge on the two guys who'd probably destroyed my future as an electrostatic engineer. The ice queen was the same age as me, but had sharper, crueler lines and looked like she was much older than the 16 years of age she told me she was. I was still bubbling over with thoughts of revenge and fury, and the ice queen struck while the iron fairly glowed. She held a little bottle of some potion before my eyes, and told me if I drank it now, I'd have the revenge I wanted. Without a second thought, I drank down the noxious pink liquid, which coursed down my heated throat like a even hotter liquid fire. Immediately I felt my rage flow into every cell of my body, down to my bones. I wondered if my Ice Queen had given me a poison. The Ice Queen laughed at that, but beyond assuring me the potion would not kill me, she refused to say just what its effects would be. I fled the girls' college and returned to my residence at the boys' school. That evening and night, I'd convinced myself the Ice Queen's potion was just watered-down Canadian sherry. That would explain my blurred vision, dizziness, and general off-balance state I found myself in. By the next morning, however, my skin was already starting to peel off, and I was coughing up dead, dried skin from my sore throat, aching throat. Whatever notions I had in the early stage of my change, that I was merely coming down with a whole schooner load of colds, flus, and rheumatism, were destroyed one morning a few days hence, when I woke up to discover I now possessed the required organs of a girl, not a boy. Once that major shift occurred, the rest, the swelling breasts, rounding, widening hips, the lengthening knee-length, flaming gold hair, and the feminine curves in all the right places followed after. Within 2 weeks of taking the Ice Queen's potion, I had switched my sex completely and irrevocably. So the girls' clothing I'd kept from my day of shame soon fit me better than my old boy's clothing. Now, however, I needed a hair ribbon and other accessories for my new form. The need for revenge was still alive and well within me, and I realized the Ice Queen had partially been thinking of the phrase, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned," when she'd got me to drink her evil potion while I was still in a foul mood, vengeful mood. After my change, I immediately guessed I was supposed to present my alluring body to the two bullies, and placed myself in a situation to entice them into some feminine trap. I had no idea yet of which trap I would create. Luckily for me, the Ice Queen stepped in at this stage and became my mentor. She got me admitted to girls' college, where I tried to apply myself to my new life role as a baby bear, nursemaid, a cook, a cleaner, and a love object for the men who would try to dominate me.